Finally, guys, I am so excited to talk about this today. We got some great news for the Pokemon MMO. So in the Terra Leak, we had a ton of games leaked, of course. You know, Pokemon Legends Galar, the Pokemon multi-region MMO game, which I've made a couple of videos about, but it's been pretty dry recently. Like I've been saying, you know, it's kind of like a dry spell for Pokemon leaks specifically because of the fact that we just had Generation 10 and just everything else going on. So today we have a ton of stuff to talk about with that multi-region MMO game. That is very, very good news. That shows us that this game is still actually in development, which I was really scared of. I've been very worried about them canceling this game because I think it sounds awesome, right? So anyways, back to what I was saying. The Terra Leak is awesome. We had tons of information. It was quite literally the Terra Leak because, well, terabytes of information. And in my opinion, I do think we're going to get more and more leaks from that Terra Leak because I don't think the leakers have revealed all. I feel like they still have a ton of things to show us and to reveal to us. Now, we finally got this update about Pokemon Project Seed, which is the code name for the MMO. Just a quick recap. This is the multi-region MMO. It takes place in Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Kitakami. That's pretty sick. All of the regions will be interconnected into a single world, currently in pre-production at Game Freak, and it is coming 2029 or later, which makes a lot of sense, right? It seems like they delayed everything about 2-ish years. So this game could literally be coming out maybe in 2030 even. And we also did get these photos right here, which is very interesting. So these are concept photos, I believe. So this would be a very big map ranging from all of the Japanese regions of Pokemon. This is a picture of somebody that just kind of looks like they're exploring. You can see there's telephone poles and towers and stuff, so you could tell like it is a modern, I guess, day civilization, but it's just like kind of in the farmlands, which is awesome. We also have this photo, which looks like it's probably one of the main cities. It's very, very blurry, but this is just a concept art seeing like what they want to do. You can see all the people in there, and if you don't know what an MMO is, it's basically just a game where you can play online with a ton of people. I personally like MMO games a lot. If you know Club Penguin, then you know what I'm talking about. This is another photo of just, I guess, the city, which is very interesting because like, will we be able to buy one of these houses and have like a bunch of neighbors or something? Like, what would be the purpose of having housing and buildings and stuff? Like, will we be able to like walk into shops and stuff? I feel like a Pokemon MMO game has to be so in-depth, and it needs to be something that they really, really work on to make it last a long time. Pokopia, that is a perfect example of a game that I could see myself playing for years and years. There's so much to that game. I have probably 10 to 15 hours in the game right now, and I have barely scratched the surface. Let me say that. I've just been working on my village, trying to make it good, I guess. And here's another photo of the big city. So it seems like there would be a lot of big cities, dude. This game seems like it's awesome. And this is a port city with like, you know, cruise ships and big boats and stuff that could dock here, which makes sense. So I guess we'd have boat travel. The SS Anne is probably going to show up here. And we also do have this from PokeOS about the Terra Leak. So these are all the Japanese regions or the Japanese maps right here. You can see they're going to be interconnected, but there is that big, I guess, blank spot in between. So I don't know if they just fill that in with maybe a bunch of nature. Maybe by the time this comes out, we're going to have another Japanese region. Probably not. The odds are very, very slim. So it's probably just going to either be full of nature or they're going to kind of like close them together. We will have multiple players that will coexist in the same world at real time, exploring, interacting, and sharing the environment with a persistent, living Pokemon world. The experience is designed around freedom of movement and discovery rather than linear progression. According to internal notes, the world dynamically reflects real weather conditions and seasonal changes, which directly affect Pokemon encounters in real time. This system aims to make the environment feel alive and reactive, with different Pokemon appearing depending on the climate, location, and the time of year. Rather than a traditional remake, Pokemon Seed positioned as a prototype for the future online Pokemon platform, marking the franchise's first real step towards an MMO-like structure. It combines a large-scale exploration, social interaction, and shared progression across multiple regions in a single cohesive experience. And if you guys could subscribe to the channel, help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers, and so you don't miss all the brand new news and leaks about Pokemon, I would greatly appreciate it. And my bro Nintendo, soon potentially to be Jzard, are doing a giveaway in our Discord server for Generation 10 when it does actually come out. So if you guys want to get like an early head start, it is free to join in the Discord server down below. All right, let's go right back to it. What's awesome about this is Pokopia is very interactive, and it seems like we're going in a amazing direction with the future of Pokemon. I'm so stoked for Winds and Waves. I'm excited for this Pokemon MMO. I've been wanting a real official MMO forever. We do have like the fan-made Poke MMO, which is great. This sounds so awesome. So it seems like they're really going to put a lot of effort and work into this game. Again, we do have new photos that I've never seen before, and I believe the public hasn't seen before unless I just, you know, have been in the dark, but very cool. So yeah, it wasn't canceled. The latest we know that it has not been canceled, but it's not in full production, so anything could still happen. And the reason why I'm bringing this up when we all already have heard about this is because this is a newer piece of information that tells us more about the game. Like, this game is still something that will hopefully happen. And Generation 10, there were leaks rumors about there actually being a little bit of MMO in that game, but I'm pretty sure the last I heard they may have scrapped that from Winds and Waves, which makes sense because if they're going to do a whole game with MMO, that's awesome. That's great. And like I was mentioning that they want to make this a very interactive game, just like a very good experience with lively Pokemon. Like the region has to feel alive, right? Like it cannot be stale. We're going to have a bunch of people running around. We're going to have a bunch of Pokemon probably running around too as well. But it seems like the Pokemon Company, they are recruiting PhD holders in science and engineering or agricultural sciences, research experience related to the ecology of animals and plants if possible, proficiency in Japanese and English. This is a website that's in Japanese, so I translated it over to English, and I promise I have a point by showing you guys this because it's really good news in my opinion. So basically, like, you have to have, I guess, all these doctoral degrees in science, engineering, or agriculture. It's a full-time employee, annual income of 6 million to 10 million yen, and you can see like all the working hours, holidays, and stuff. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is because we see how Game Freak and Pokemon, Nintendo, how they are bringing Pokemon into an actual new era on the Switch 2. Like, not quite literally just the next generation because it's the Switch 2 or because of Generation 10, but quite literally the next era of Pokemon where these games are going to be way better built, way more in-depth. And if they're going to this extent to hire people with very, very specific degrees, you know, engineering, agricultural sciences, and like biology, stuff like this, it means they want to hire people that know a lot about just, I guess, real life nature and animals and how plants grow and stuff like this and how plants work and seasons and all that, which they can implement that into these video games to make them way better. Also, my neighbors have been getting a roof for days. So if you guys have heard like any hammering or anything like that, that's what that noise is. But yes, that is overall great news. The MMO Pokemon game seems like it's still going to actually release, and it seems like they're still actually working on it. Although there is that possibility that it doesn't come out, so it's not like 100% certainty that it actually is going to be happening still, but I really hope so. I've been wanting this forever. And like I said, they have delayed everything by about 2 years, I believe, because I swear Pokemon Gen 10 was originally supposed to come out 2025 because that's the typical 3-year gap in between generations, and then they delayed it to 2026, and then they delayed it again until 2027. The Terra League was like, yeah, definitely coming out in 2026. No, the game is coming out in 27 now, guys. As you all know, of course, but it's good news that they are delaying these games because it's going to make them better, and I'm serious, with the success of Pokopia, it shows Game Freak and Nintendo and the Pokemon Company that we want these bigger and better games, and with this Pokemon MMO, it seems like they're not going to do the traditional remakes, at least anytime soon. So the Generation 5 remakes should still happen according to the Terra League, but not for a long time. Like, this seems like it'll be the kind of remake in a way. I say the word remake very lightly because it's not going to be like a remake of those generations. It's just like going back to those regions, right? But for the current slate of all the Switch 2 games, it doesn't seem like a Gen 5 or like a new, I guess, faithful remake are in the plans at all, besides like maybe a Generation 3 port, but that's not a remake. I more so mean like an actual remake, right? Anyways, I had to give you guys this update because when I saw this, I was ecstatic because of the fact that it could still happen, right? Let me know, do you want to see a Pokemon MMO? At least an official Pokemon MMO. Also, guys, please check out the Fundores Files channel. That's my second channel where I post Nintendo news and updates and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to grind more over on that channel as well. So I really appreciate if you guys go check it out, link in the description. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are real and watching this far in the video, comment down below Batman, just the word Batman. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.